not Buddha nor Muhammad, but it's Jesus we cry out loud.
Father, just forgive us. Hear us when we say, we'll give you everything, our lives and souls today.
Father, you know we need it. I've never seen so much pain. We have a fear, your victory we will gain.
Father, you know we need it. There's no more heart of stone. We're ready for your power. Now that sin is gone, Father.
Can you hear me now?
Father.
Can you hear me now?
Father.
Can you hear me now?
Father.
We will say yes, 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 say yes. Say yes.
Father, can you hear me now? Can you hear even me, oh Lord? See, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you just as I am. I'm in need. I'm in need of the blood of the Lamb. Oh, my soul. My soul. It says, yes.
Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say
Almost 2,500 years ago, there was a sad little girl named Hadassah in Medo Persia. Why was she so sad, you may ask? Well, for some time, her father had been dead, and now her mother was dead also. This left little Hadassah all alone in the world, with no parents and no one to love her. But this was not so, for she did have an uncle who was much older than she. He was married with a home of his own. He also had a job at the royal palace. Mordecai heard of his orphan niece, Hadassah. He took her in his home and adopted her as his own daughter.
Why? What a beautiful little girl you are. No, I'm going to give you a new name for your Persian life. I will call you Esther, which means star. Do you like that name? Yes, my little star. What is it?
Look at these flowers I've picked for you. This is a rose, this is a tulip, this is a Persian berry, and this is a Persian buttercup. Aren't they pretty?
Oh, yes, my little star. They're really pretty. And look, you fit right in with them.
Oh, Uncle.
And what a star Esther proved to be. Night after night, Mordecai told Esther the stories of God and his love for his people. He told how God watched over them and protected them through good times and bad. Esther came to love and honor God. She learned to pray to him and trust him, and she found strength through the faith in God's goodness. She was a light of Mordecai's home and grew in grace and beauty.
My queen is most assuredly the most beautiful lady in the land. I'll prove it. Tell Queen Vashti that she's summoned to the king's court, and tell her to only wear her crown and not her veil.
The king demands your presence in the court. He commands that you only wear your crown, not your veil.
He commands what?
That you are only to wear your...
I heard what you said, you silly girl. It was a rhetorical question. I just can't believe he would ask this of me. I am the queen. I am only seen in my veils. Why going around with anything else would be like walking around naked. Go tell my husband that I refuse. That beast. I can't believe he would ask that of me. I refuse.
Upon hearing the queen refuse his command, the king was angry.
I'm infuriated.
For it was unheard of this thing in Persia. No one ever disobeyed the king, and a wife never disobeyed her husband.
How dare she disobey my command? Vashti is no longer my queen. She is banished.
Queen Vashti had gone, and this was quite a bit of juicy gossip throughout the land. It was heard throughout the empire, and even came to be heard in Mordecai's ears. Mordecai sat and worked in the palace gate. Mordecai shared the story one day when he arrived home.
Can you believe all the trouble in the palace? My.
You have news for us? Tell us what happened.
Queen Vashti has been banished. He disobeyed the king's orders, and now she is banished. There is no more Queen Vashti anymore.
Really?
But Uncle, the king must have a queen, mustn't he? What is he gonna do?
Oh, of course he's looking for a queen, of course, alright? You know, you're really beautiful. You can be queen. God always has plans for people.
Oh, Uncle, I can never be queen. I'm just a short little Persian girl.
You can never tell, you know, and you know, God always has a plan.
There was a great and grand excitement in the land. Every girl from India to Ethiopia in all 127 provinces of the empire were talking about the king's search for a new queen. Contests were held in every province, and the loveliest girls were brought to the king for his inspection. As more and more girls arrived at the palace, an idea started to form in the head of Mordecai.
None of these girls can hold a candle to my Esther. She is the most beautiful girl in the world. Oh, I'm pretty sure that she will please the king. Esther, you must promise me that you will at least try to go in the king's presence and try to be queen. God always has a plan.
Oh, Uncle, if it pleases you, then I will go.
Good. Let's just keep that you're an Israelite girl a secret, okay?
So Mordecai took Esther to Haggai, the keeper of the woman, and when he saw Esther, he too thought she was the most beautiful by far, and sure to be chosen by the king to be queen.
Oh, Esther. This is Esther.
Mordecai, you have brought this rare beauty. I will see that the king, I'll see that she has the best rooms. Come with me, young lady. You are sure to please the king.
Haggai indeed gave her the best rooms and 7 maids to wait upon her. This was encouraging, but but it did not mean the king would choose Esther. For there were many maidens to be brought before the king, and as many as they were different. Some were tall, some were small, some were silly, and some were willy. Woman after woman, maiden after maiden, all were brought before the king, but none caught his fancy.
That's you.
Okay, I did say young maidens, but come on, get serious, people. This is a child. Why, another child? Whew. Does our country not believe in mating? Who brought this old woman here? Keep walking. You can turn around. Why? Didn't I just banish you?
Months had passed until the day Esther was called to meet the king.
I must try to look my absolute best to see the king. Huh, whatever that means. Heavenly Father, please be with me this day, I pray.
Above all the women. The king loved Esther above all the women. She obtained grace and favor in his sight, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen. Now in those days, no king was safe on his throne. There seemed to always be someone plotting to take his life. The same can be said for King Xerxes. Soon after Esther had become queen, 2 of his chamberlains became angry about something the king had done. So they made up their minds to kill him. Unfortunately for them, they talked too much about their plan, and it was overheard by others, who whispered it to their friends, who told other people, until reaching the ears of Mordecai.
Mordecai, listen! I just heard that big men in church were met at the king. They've got this big plot lined up. They're going to kill the king.
What? I must tell Queen Esther at once.
Mordecai told Esther, who told the king. The 2 plotters were arrested. The 2 plotters were arrested and put to death. In all the excitement, Mordecai was forgotten. The king did not even thank him for his help in this matter. Now, during this time, King Xerxes chose as his prime minister a man named Haman the Agagite. Haman was not a good choice. He was a strong man, but also cruel, proud and ruthless. Mordecai saw through his true personality. Though all those whose place was much lower in the kingdom than Haman's bowed in submission to him, Mordecai didn't.
Bow down to Mordecai. You must bow down to Mordecai, Haman. If you don't, you'll get in trouble. The king orders everybody to bow down. You better do it.
No, I could never bow down to him. Never.
The absolute nerve of your insolence is astonishing. Bow before me. Do it now.
I will not, and I never shall.
You Cretan! I will make you pay for this. You and your whole family will pay. That is a promise. You will be on the ground. You will lick the soles of my feet.
In your dreams.
What did you say? I will see you hang. I will see you dead. That is a promise.
Soon after this, Haman learned that Mordecai was a Jew. This gave him a terrible idea. He would take his revenge out not only on Mordecai, but all of the Jews. He would see that all the Jews be wiped from the face of the earth. With his horrible plot in mind, Haman went before the king.
O great king, there has been a certain group of people spread across this vast kingdom that don't believe in your laws. They follow their own laws. I will take it upon myself to get rid of them if you so ask me to.
Haman, if what you say is true, it will cost the king greatly to have this extermination take place.
Do not worry, my king. I am willing to pay 10,000 talents of silver to make sure this extermination takes place.
That is really benevolent of you, Haman. You have my complete confidence. Here, take my ring. Write your own decree and sign my name.
Mordecai's days are numbered.
Calling all the king's scribes together, Haman had them prepare the decree. The decree was then sent to all 127 provinces. It read, "All are hereby ordered to destroy, to kill, and to cause perish to all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of December." It was a terrible decree, more terrible than anything Pharaoh had tried to do in Egypt. They had not thought for the God of Israel, who has a special care for his people. They have overlooked much, including Esther, for she was also a Jew.
Queen Esther, your uncle, he's in the streets crying and wailing. He's torn off his clothes. He's in nothing but sackcloth and ashes.
Oh no, this cannot be. Whatever could be the matter? Is he ill? Is someone in my family sick? Go, take these clothes, run quickly and find out.
The servant returned to the queen and told her all that Mordecai had said. The queen was distressed, but soon organized her thoughts and came up with a plan.
Go to Mordecai. Give him this message. Run, quickly. Go and gather all the Jews in Susa. Fast and pray for me. I and my maids will do the same. Do not eat nor drink. And then, after these days are over, I shall go to the king. Even though going to the king is against the law without a request, I shall go. And if I perish, I perish.
After the 3 days, Esther found herself before the entrance of the great hall, where the king was seated on his throne. She wondered if he would see her. Would he welcome her? He did. He held out his golden scepter as a gesture of welcome to her. Queen Esther walked forward and touched his golden scepter.
What is it you desire, my queen? Ask anything, and it shall be yours, even half of my kingdom.
My request is that you and Haman both dine with me at the banquet that I have prepared for you. And there I shall make known my request.
Of course. I'll definitely be there.
A message was sent to Haman of the queen's request, and Haman was giddy with delight. This was a great reward. Indeed, to be invited to dine alone with the queen and king, it was an honor he had never dared hope for. They were all gathered in the queen's quarters, and they ate good food and drink. Everything was beautifully prepared, and the king once again asked the queen,
queen has invited me twice to her palace in 2 days. I'm the most important man in the kingdom. Oh, save the king, of course. I could be the happiest man. If it wasn't for that Mordecai, I'll have to do something about him.
Don't let that Jew spoil your happiness. Get him out of the way. Have barrels build and gallows build and ask the king if you can hang them on it, and you will be happy before the second banquet.
This pleased Haman, and he had the gallows made. They were 86 feet high. He made them high enough for all the city to see his hated enemy dangling from them. He had built them too soon. That night the king could not sleep. So he sent for the book of records and told the servant to read from it. The servant happened to read the passage that was about the 2 traitors that plotted to kill the king, and how Mordecai discovered the plot and warned the king.
What has been done for this great man Mordecai?
Now who should enter the room at this time? Why, none other than Haman. Catching sight of Haman, the king asked him a question.
Haman, what shall be done to this man who delights the honor of the king?
Now you know Haman, selfish as he was, thought this was an honor the king meant to show him. So he said,
That man, ooh, he should be wearing the king's robes and wear the king's crown, and should be trotted around through the entire kingdom with the king's royal horse. And then the servant should say, Thus should be done to the man to the king delights to honor, many a times.
Good. Let that be done to Mordecai.
Mordecai? Mordecai, you can't mean it.
You dare defy me?
Everything Haman had described to the king was done to Mordecai, and he was the one running through the streets. Never had Haman been so despondent. He told his tale of the woe to Zeresh, and the evening drew near, and it was time for the queen's second banquet. The queen and king and Haman began to dine again.
What is it you desire, my queen? Ask anything, and I'll grant you, even up to half of my kingdom.
My request is that you save my life and pardon my people. For you see, me and my people, we have been sold, to be killed, to perish.
Who in this kingdom should dare think of this?
It is him! The enemy is the vile Haman!
You dare defile the queen while she's still with me in this house? Let you be hanged at the gallows that you build.
And that was the fate of the man who plotted to kill all of God's children in one day. The bitter was bitten. Queen Esther was a true star for her people. What a lesson in faith we can learn from her. She knowingly put her life on the line in order to save her people and their faith. She knew that even though she could die, God was by her side and would never forsake her or abandon her.
Our closing hymn would be on page 633. Please stand.
today and the play and us singing a song. Please bless all of your young people to let them do your good works as we have done today. Please bless the food downstairs